You mentioned Freddie Foreman then.
Yeah.
A lot of the young people watching this probably aren't even familiar with him. Can you just explain who he is and what his role was?
Well, he had no role. Like Charlie Kray. I'd never met him before in my life. And when I see him in the dock, I think, well, what are you doing here? Who are you? But apparently he was a well-known character around South London or wherever. And I found him quite a decent bloke. He'd speak to you, you know. There was didn't walk around like I'm the big I am or anything else like that. He acted like a normal man. And I think that the fact was I was just surprised that, you know, he was in that dock. Like Charlie was another one I felt surprised that was there. But that's what they did to them people. You understand me?
It's like a big conspiracy case.
Yeah, big conspiracy case. And I can remember my deposition said, we know you had nothing to do with this, tell us about it. And neither you nor your family will be affected. And I turned around and said, I don't know what part you're talking about. And Nipper Reid said to me, look, there's my card. Give me a call. He genuinely gave me his card and treated me with respect. He said, give me a call, he said, and I'd like to talk to you in private. What I did, I went and saw Violet Kray and told her that I'd been arrested in Birmingham, brought back to London, and and I said they know everything. I've seen it on the wall, the names, the cases, the offences. It was all on a wall in what's the name?
Tintagel House.
Yeah. And she turned around and said, "Please, Chris, will you please come and tell the boys?" I said, "I can't, Violet. It's too dangerous for me to do that. You tell them what I've told you, and that's it." And she turned around and said, "Please." And I heard my own mother's voice when she asked me to do something. So once more, against my own judgment, I did it. And I went and saw them. They were absolutely over the moon. You know, Chris, great to see you. How you doing? And all the rest of it. And his girlfriend, Carol, she was there as well. And, you know, she thanked me. And I went away and thinking that'd be the end of it. Within another week, police come up to Birmingham, arrested me again, brought me back down to Tintagel House, and Nipper Reid said, I've given you opportunity, tell us about it now. I said, I can't tell you nothing, Mr. Reid. I said, I don't know what you're on about. And he was playing with a gun. And he walked round the desk, and he came right round and hit me over the side of the face with it. And I thought, you're not going to get a reaction out of me here. I know exactly why you've done that, so you can do me for GBH.
Yeah.
I said, did you feel good doing that?
Good answer.
And he looked at me like that. He said, Officer Cater, he said, charge him. And Cater went, what do I charge him with? He said, murder. And that's what they did. They charged me with murder. Charged Tony with murder, Ronnie Bender with murder, and we all went to Bow Street. But I don't know they're even inside at the time. I'm in Bow Street and I could hear some people talking because all the cells are in a line. I thought, am I Tony? I went, Tony, that you? He went, yeah, Chris, that you? I said, yeah, what are you doing here? So I've been charged with murder. And Ronnie Bender said, I've been charged with murder. I said, I've been charged with murder. So, right, we go up in front of the beak and got remanded in custody. And the following week, when I meet everybody, like I've just mentioned, met the twins again, Freddie Foreman, Ronnie Kray, Charlie Kray, and all the rest of them. It just was a total mess. And that's genuinely the way it happened.
And what was the morale like of the co-defendants at that point, were you thinking?
No, listen, we were on top of the world. We could not let ourselves down. We had to keep our spirits up. Ronnie Bender was a great comedian, ex-soldier, knew how to make people laugh and everything else like that. But it cost him another 5 years because the judge, Milford Stevenson, didn't take kindly to some of his comments and gave him 20 years. Life and 20 years.
Have you got any examples?
Yeah, pun.
Have you got any examples?
Well, just
of
something,
things he said?
look at him and you'd be like, he's got dodgy eyes, hasn't he? And all things like that, you understand? You seen that gesture? He just made the jewellery, he just lifted his eyes up and like that. Whenever one of our people were talking, he's just, he's thrown them all over the place. He was like a character. And then, when we came down to the cells, the twins would go around rubbing your neck and getting rid of tension and all the rest of it. Little gestures and things like that. And going back in the coach, we'd all sing "It's a Long Way to Tipperary." Old Mother Brown, drawers are falling down and all that kind of thing.
Did you think you'd win the case?
I think that we would have been chucked out. I thought we'd been chucked out. I'll tell you where it fell down. You've got to look at this trial. It was like no other trial there ever was. What you've got is you've got a bottle of water there and a bottle of water there. That one is the McVitie murder. That one is the Cornell murder. That happened in the Blind Beggar. That happened in Evering Road. One of the people in that murder had nothing at all to do with this murder. Knew nothing about it, didn't even know it was going to happen. Yet he is sitting in the dock. Joint enterprise. You've got the people involved in this, like myself and others, had nothing to do with this, didn't even know the Krays at the time. But it don't matter. We're all going to sit in the dock together. The witnesses in this case, most of them are people who have turned Queen's evidence. They're more guilty than the people sitting in the dock. But they're not sitting in the dock, they're free. Mm. One of them actually said, I held Jack the Hat while he was being stabbed.
Well, that message was quite clear then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So it was obvious, yeah? But, so I felt the evidence in that was going to be quite poor. It could be challenged.
And what was the nature of the other murder?
But the other murder was a shooting in the Blind Beggar pub. They walked in there. Ian Barry fired a shot into the ceiling, apparently, so they say. I wasn't there, I can't say. And Ronnie Kray walked up to George Cornell and shot him through the head. Right, so that's that murder, yeah? Both of these trials are going to be together. Never happened before. Two murders have been placed together with so many defendants. This murder. Everything's going along as expected. And then the barmaid of the Blind Beggar comes into the dock and she speaks. It was hearing the voice of an angel. And everybody went down on her evidence. Her evidence convicted the two trials.
Wasn't she in fear of her life to do that?
Yeah, no, punt.
Was she scared? Like, wasn't she at risk of getting killed as a witness?
Well, initially she was frightened.
Yeah.
But the police got to her and reassured her, and she gave evidence. But she had nothing to do with this murder here. Yet it was her words in bringing down that one murder that a guilty plea was done for both of them. First time ever in history, longest murder trial, at number one court in the Old Bailey, that something like that's ever happened.
So because there was so much media attention, did the judge give maximum sentences?
No, it's political.
Political?
It was political.
Can you explain that?
I think they were going to do something when Boothby, Boothby was involved. I mean, Boothby went and claimed money. He got a lump sum of money, £50,000
from the Daily Mirror, wasn't it?
Was it
Mirror.
Daily Mail or Daily?
Mate, yeah, it was 40,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they put a story about, and this was a politician, is it Boothby?
Yeah.
Is it a Lord Boothby or something?
Yeah, Lord Boothby, yeah.
Lord Boothby. What did they say about him?
What did he say?
The Mirror.
Mirror, about homosexuality,
Rent boys,
rent boys, everything.
So he was involved in getting rent boys through the Krays. Is that what they said?
No, they said that the Krays were getting them for him.
Getting them for him.
Yeah.
Right.
So
was that just a sensationalist story, or was that true?
I couldn't say, honestly. Whatever they did in private, they did in private. You know, I just, you know, I was a married man with a daughter. Most people in the firm had children and all that kind of. It ain't the kind of thing we thought of in them days.
But the thing is, Shaun, it's like when you spoke to like myself and Maggie, what we exposed went into Parliament. You know, there were people involved, and that's why they had to do their best to silence us. And that's when, you know, this politics, because whatever you do in the criminal world, if it starts affecting political instability, that's when the intelligence services come in, and that's when it's a different ball game.
So do you believe then that the Krays were involved in...
I think they were potentially could have affected politics by bribery of politicians. That's my opinion. And I think that's an age-old equation that's gone on for a long, long time.
So
and it's still going on now.
So like Epstein, then they had politicians in compromising situations that they had power over?
Yeah, without a doubt, 100%. Without a doubt. And that's what it would have been.
I mean, one of their clubs had Lord Effingham, you know.
Dryburgh was the other one.
Dryburgh was another one. So they had all these kind of people. And it was Harold Wilson who really wanted them away. You know, because he was looking at things and thinking, we're going to be brought down here by what's going on. And he talked to, I think it was Simpson was the...
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, the commissioner or whatever it was, yeah.
And he was the one who actually said, we're bringing them down. And even the police... It was totally secret what they were about.
And I know I worked on one unit when it was to do with protests and all that, and it became very political. And they basically, we was in a covert building, and we were told certain people will come to target and we get them. For whatever, you get them. And that's it. And in the courts will work in 24 hours.
But you see, the thing was, Tintagel House, I'd never heard about it. I knew about Scotland Yard.
Well, Tintagel House sits right next door to MI6.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, you know, it's all there. But the thing was, it was political.
Yeah.
You understand? But they had to go down, and they had to be shown an example. They couldn't just walk out. I mean, Boothby took them right into the House of Commons, didn't he?
Yeah.
And the politicians were disgusted that a man of his stature would actually do something like that. But he wasn't a man of any stature, really, because, I mean, he nicked Harold Macmillan's wife, didn't he?
Well, you see it a lot with the allegations made against Ted Heath and Leon Britt and all that. You know, this isn't a little Dolphin Square. It's an elite little club, you know, that we're not a member of. And there's a book called Playland, if anyone wants to really look into it. And it's about a guy that talks about the rent boy racket during the 60s and 70s in London, and all the people of influence, politicians and CEOs of big company. One of them was Hornby, that used to run WH Smith's, and high-ranking guards officers are all going to these like rent boy sex parties.